Imagine that you're trying to create processes for your company and a robust database. Look no further than SmartSuite. This is a platform that you can do both for your company. We're going to show you how to get started as a complete beginner. You're going to be learning the 4 main steps to get started fast. We're going to look at the 6 main features of SmartSuite that makes it special, and a walkthrough to get started right now. And that's if you're switching from Airtable, Google Sheets, or wherever, you'll be able to do this with success. Now, to begin with, there's a free guide that we're going to be using right now, and you can get this for free. Down below, there's going to be a link for this complete beginner guide, and we're going to be going through this as we're using the platform. So first of all, as we're using SmartSuite, there are so many things you can be doing with this platform. It's important to note, where are you right now? If you look at the Solutions tab, you can see all the different categories, how SmartSuite helps your business. If you're trying to do this for project management, if you're in HR, if you're in real estate, business strategy, the list goes on and on. This allows you to kind of get a glimpse of how this can be possible for you. What can you do with this platform for your business? In the comment section down below, let me know, what are you looking for? Where are you? Are you in a startup? Are you an agency owner? Are you a no-code developer and you're using Airtable now for your clients, but now you're shifting over or looking for different solutions? Where are you? What are you doing? Now, as you look at the different solutions, it allows you to understand the different things that you can do with SmartSuite. So it's important to write down, where are you? What are you looking for? What features are important to you? The next portion, or the next thing that you should be looking at, is how to get started quickly. Now, it's really important to look inwardly, where are you right now, to then look at the key features for SmartSuite that we'll talk about in just a few moments. Now, looking at your company, you got to review your processes. Do you have any written or video processes right now? What kind of organization are you? Do you have any current SOPs, standard operating procedures? Do you have an org chart where you have different permissions, or people are sharing the knowledge base in different ways? For example, if you have a marketing department, do they have access to all your Google Sheets or all the Airtable bases or all the different workspaces in Notion? What goes on right now? Do you have it written down? Do you have that information? And then the third one is automation. Are you using Zapier? Are you using Make? Are you using webhooks? How are you changing manual tasks into automation right now? If you have those 3 things down, that allows you to work more efficiently when you're using SmartSuite, because there are so many things that you can do on the platform. It can be overwhelming, where if you just start the account and you just go in there, you could be trying to do so many other things without having a purpose or a structure, and then you can feel overwhelmed. So write those things down either in the comment section down below or on a piece of paper or somewhere where you take notes, to really have a good basis to get started. Now, we'll go through the main benefits in a moment, but it's important for you to see the platform and to get familiar with it, to then be able to match the benefits when we go there. So the next portion is getting started. If you want, you can sign up for free, and then you're taken to this main section after you get onboarded. It'll ask you about what kind of company you have, how big is your team, and then you're going to be taken to this section here. Now, this is where you're going to be able to make all the different things in SmartSuite. Now, you might feel, but wait a minute, I'm coming from Airtable or Google Sheets. How can I navigate this? Well, if we first come into SmartSuite, we're going to be able to see your workspace, and then you're going to be able to create a solution. Well, what would it be comparable of when you're in Airtable? Well, if you're in Airtable, you would sign into your account, and then you would be able to see your different workspaces where everything is housed. And then you're going to be able to then create an Airtable base if you wanted to, or to get started with that. The other version would be is if you're in Google Sheets and you're getting started and you want to now create a new spreadsheet, you would be taken to this screen, and then you can decide, are you going to make a to-do list, start from blank, all of those different things. So we have a starting point right here. Now, say for instance, I want to create a new solution. If I click new solution, it will allow me to see start with a template or create from scratch. To start with, let's just create from scratch. Once I create from scratch, it will ask me to create, name it. So I'm going to name it. Mm, I'm going to say solution beta for this, and I can change it later. But right here, I'm just going to click that. And now I'm going to be able to be here. So where am I, right? This would be comparable if I'm going to be in an Airtable base or something like that, right? So we have a list right here. So the solution would be comparable to an Airtable base. So we're in a solution right now. If we look at creating an app, you see where it says app 1, and then the app 1, it's just a basic, structure where we have information. Let's take a look at what apps would be called. It'd be the same as tables or a sheet in Google Sheets. So the app would be the same as different tables. So if I'm looking at here, this would be like table 1, and then I click this where it says create a new app. If I click the button now, it's going to be table 2, right? So now we have two different apps. And if I switch, I can go to app 1, I can change it, the name, and I can just say, I'm going to say tracking data. All right. So I have tracking data here, and then I'm going to change app two's name. I'm going to say, um, team, team info, something like that. So now we have different apps. Or again, if we look at it, we have different tables. Or if we go into Google Sheets and click blank, it's going to start our new spreadsheet here. It's going to get started. And then at the bottom, you see where it says sheet 1. I can add another one. If I do the plus sign, it would be sheet 2. So now we're understanding if we're using, if we're coming from Airtable or Google Sheets to now Smart Suite, we understand where we're at. Okay, so we know where we're at. In Airtable, if I was going to create a base, I would click the plus sign at the bottom, and now I'm taken to a new base to get started, right? So we're at the beginning where we see all of them starting at the same point. And then now when we're looking at creating something, we can go into this app and we can add a new record. So we can click the plus sign right here, and then we can add to, and we can add a new record. So we have titles and we have different fields across, in the different columns, and then we can add different things. Now, as we're looking at this, right, we have the basics of what's happening. We understand where we're at, right? This would be adding to the Airtable base. This would be adding to the sheet in different um, rows, right? So we have columns and we'd have rows, and then we'd have the cells right here. Now let's just take a look at the different types of fields that we can do, right? So in Airtable, if we're coming over, we're clicking a column, we're adding a field, and we'll have all different types of field types, right? For when we're in SmartSuite, if we click, we can add a new field. And if we look at this, we can have over 40 different fields for SmartSuite. And we'll go into more videos of how powerful they are. But simply put, depending on what you're trying to create, you can do tons of things with with SmartSuite in their fields, right? So we have the basics here, Smart Doc, and also what I like about this is as you're scrolling over, it tells you what it does, right? So if we click this, it says Smart Doc, then it says create entire documents that combine free form, rich text, multimedia, and much more. So imagine this Smart Doc as this section right here. We're going to add this field. It can almost act as really a whole section where you can be building out your own Notion doc if you wanted to, right? So title, I'm just going to have um, new event, click that. I can scroll over, and then I can also expand for the Smart Doc. And you see right here, Now we can build out in it almost like a Notion doc right here. I can say testing. I can change the heading. I can make it H1. I can add like insert text, a checklist right here. Start here, next step. And then I can even, again, be able to mark what I've done. That's just one of the different field types, right? You can do a lot of other type of things as well. You can create ones for a single select, date. If we scroll down, collaboration related, so we can see rating, votes, project essentials. There are quite a few things you can do in here. So again, this is where we're highlighting it's much more than just a database where you can do different automation and things like that. You can have the project management aspect of it seamlessly when you're building out in SmartSuite, right? So we looked at just the basic structure of as we're building out in SmartSuite and adding records and all of those things. Also, too, we see different areas how we can add to the record. We can have add record right there, but then we can, of course, do it manually across if you're used to just building it or adding things in the database like that. So that's one option. Now, as we looked at it across, we see the if you're starting from another platform like Airtable, you're seeing some of the difference or what you could be doing here. But that's just one way, right? So I'm going to go back out to SmartSuite and I'm going to do another solution. So I could click here. Instead of starting from scratch, we can just go to a template, right? So let's say, for instance, we're going to go with client engagements. So we're going to use this template. We're going to click it. It's going to think about its life, and then it's going to install, and then we'll be able to have that application or that base, right? So as we're looking at this right here, you see the view that we have, right? So if we click on the left-hand side where it says Kanban view, we can easily change it to grid view, cards, and all those other things. So easily we can switch views whenever we want to, and you can even control the permissions of when you're going to be changing views and all of those different things. So we've looked at just one of the main benefits, which was the field types, right? So we reviewed the different field types, what you can be doing, all of those things. Next up, we're going to be looking at the linked records or talk about that. Simply put, when you're creating in this database, if you want to link to other solutions, you can do this very easily. So, the reason that's so important is when you have linked records, it automatically syncs. So when you're doing something in one solution or one like base, right? You can once you link it, it will automatically make all of those changes because it will sync. That's really, really good to have. So if you want to see more details of that or for us to go a little bit deeper into the link records, we definitely can. But that's a huge selling point when you're switching over to SmartSuite. You're going to have all of those things synced automatically. Now, why is that important? Because then your center of truth will always be up to date when you have linked records in that way. And if you want to see more details, we can do that as well. The next thing is to look at permissions. Now, when you're um, in SmartSuite and you're going to be looking at one of the different applications, then you're going to be able to go and have permissions at a large level where you're going to have the entire application to have permissions, or you can be very granular based on the exact column or column if you want to change the permission. So and you can even change it in individual cells as well. So what I would think about is permission. Think about it at the top. Think about who needs to know this information, and then do you need to have other things changed as well. You can be able to do that. So how would you be able to look at the different permissions? Well, let's look at this one step at a time. If we look at the top, if we look at first the name of what we're looking at right here. We click the down arrow, and then we'll be able to see permissions. Now, if we look at the eye, it will allow us to know a little bit more of the managing solutions right here, the managing solution permissions right here. So again, it will allow us to understand if it's system-wide, there are users that grant user admin access, solution creator access, general user access. To configure solution permissions, you must have either the workspace admin role or listed solution manager. Now, this breaks down what the solution permissions would be and breaking it down from there. But the summary is if we're looking at the different, let me put that down. If we're looking at the different permissions right here, we can break it down how people are going to be able to access this, what they're going to be able to do, and we can see it right here. So all members have full access. Only these teams have full access. So again, so we go back to the organizational chart, and this is why we said at the beginning, understand your org and how everything is structured, because then you can break it down based on teams. You can have advanced permissions. You can go to add teams or members right here. There's so many things you can do. And then right here, it says solution managers, solution owners have full access. So I can add more people to have to be solution managers and go from there. So the permissions really, depending on how you're going to be structuring this, what you're going to be doing, can be very robust. So again, you can look at as you're going from the different apps, the different solutions, what you're going to be doing. So again, if we look at this, the solution level, the apps level, if we're looking at if we're looking at different cell level, we can do all of those different things. Okay, so we looked at permissions. Now let's take a look at automations. So if we're back in, if we're back in, we click the down arrow. We just looked at permissions. Then we can look at the different automations that you want to create. Now, right here it mentions change an assignment. When status changes to ready for review, change assigned to John Doe. So this is really going to allow you to eliminate repetitive tasks or, waiting for people to do different things and then you have to do something manually. You can really build out these automations all natively in your different uh, different apps and what you're doing in your solutions. So what's important to do is first, when you're creating your automation, really think about what you need to do. And what I would say is go back to your standard operating procedures. What are you looking to do? And then that's what you're going to be able to recreate or create for the first time in SmartSuite. But I would first write down just in regular language, when this happens, that's what I'm going to do. And then that's going to be a lot easier when you create your automations here as well. Okay. Also, we have different view types. If we look on the left-hand side, you see how it's a grid view. We can change it to Kanban. We can change it to timeline, calendar, and the list goes on. So this allows you to be very effective depending on, maybe you have to look at the information in different ways. You're going to be able to do this at a glance, and that's very easy to do. And then the sixth benefit that you can have when you're building out SmartSuite, it would be creating dashboards. Now, to create dashboards, we're going to do this one step at a time to show you as a demo. So let's take a look at how we can create a dashboard or what that would look like. So we're going to go back into business roadmaps. We click it right here. And then once we go here, we're going to be looking at the open view listing. Now, if we click the down arrow right here, this is going to allow us to see different public views. Now, once you see public views, you can click the little plus sign on the side and you'll see where dashboards come up right here. And so you can use interactive widgets to track key metrics and embed rich content in one powerful view. So we're going to click on that. And then it gives us an option of creating a public or private view. Say create view. And then from there, we're going to be able to add that. So it says create the perfect dashboard. It says build intuitive dashboards, add widget. We're going to click that. And then here, it will allow us to have different widgets, different designs, all those different things. We're just going to say, let's go with metrics, progress metric, install widget. All right. So here, this will allow us to bring in information from different places, right? So we can say goals, we can say plans, all of those different things. We'll just go with metric goal. We have that. Here it says sum, and we're just going to say create widget. Oh, and then right number. We'll say the goal is like 100. So 100%. We have goal 50. We have all that. So we'll say goal 100. Add widget. And then we have this right here. Now, as of course, we also can change the size, all of those different things. And then we have that dashboard right there as an option. Now, again, we have this section here for goals, all of those different things. We're going to switch over and you see where it shows managers right here. We're going to be able to see that dashboard right there that we just created. We just added that. Now, again, we can add the widget here. We can add a chart of this bar chart. I'm going to say bar chart right here. Solution, we're going to say, business roadmap. We're going to say goals here. The app is goals. And we're going to see based on what we're doing, we can change out what's happening here, right? The metrics, we can see managers, all of those things. And again, we'd want it to make sure that it is comparable of what we're tracking and being able to do that. We're just showing how to add it. But now we have the dashboard right here. So again, we have the public views. We have managers by department, managers by work location. Then we have a dashboard that's an aggregate of what we want to happen, right? The what we want different for tracking different things, the full total, or what we're going to be looking at as a snapshot, or it could just be a dashboard of what the managers need to see all the time, or it could just be reviews when you're doing weekly meetings and you need to have a dashboard and be able to track. You're going to be able to do that as well. So again, we'll be able to do that for each and every, what is it called? We have right here solution, right? So you can have a different dashboard for different solutions and then bring in different apps or tables to populate that data to track it and all of those kind of good things. So as we did this walkthrough, we looked at the 6 different benefits. We looked at the fields. We talked about the linking records or the link records, the permissions, automation, view types of the different type of solutions, and then also the dashboards. In the comment section down below, let me know, what are you planning to do? Have you tried out SmartSuite and you're trying to build out more processes right now for your business? Are you just getting started for the first time and you were trying to see what are some of the different features or what can you do with SmartSuite? Let us know in the comment section down below if you want to see more videos like this and what questions do you have? Do you want to see exact examples or use cases where people are switching from Airtable or Google Sheets into SmartSuite and what it looks like, what happened, all of those different things? Let us know in the comment section down below. And if you like these kind of videos, make sure that you like and subscribe. We do this every single week. We'll see you in the next video.